we're at the halfway point in the season, so-called, for Major League Baseball. The All-Star game, it's actually a little bit further than the halfway point. But it's a game that means nothing, but it means a lot, too, because it has a lot of implications of the playoffs for the World Series, Mike. Your thoughts on the All-Star team, the makeup of the team, Ryan Howard making it, 4 first basemen, all that good stuff. What do you think about this year's team?
Every year there's going to be snubs, and there's going to be some bad decisions, and I think there are this year. And this is one of those annual sports arguments that we have for about a week, and then we forget about it until next year. I mean, believe me, when we get into the middle of August and the pennant races are heating up, this is going to be a distant memory. However, I think it is a little silly for Charlie Manuel to have chosen Ryan Howard when he already had 3 first basemen who clearly had better numbers than Ryan Howard. 4 first basemen on the roster when you ought to be trying to win the game for a couple of reasons. Number one, there is a tangible reward for winning it, which is home field advantage in the World Series. And number two, the National League never wins it. So they ought to want to win it just to win it, or virtually never wins it. So I think maybe in light of that, Charlie should have gone a little bit more toward versatility, toward guys who could play maybe more than one defensive position, which certainly is not Ryan Howard. I think we can all agree. So I think that was a bad decision.
And there's no DH this year either. It's not like
that's
one
right.
of these guys is your
National
DH,
League
your
Park,
big
no
slugger.
DH.
It's funny how these things seem to even out. Baseball's a great game where it evens out. You can have a slump or make a mistake, and then a week later you can get out of it. Last year I thought Howard got snubbed and probably should have been there the way his stats were. So this year it sort of evens out, and he probably shouldn't have, but now he gets the call. I think there's less controversy than some other years. So
yeah,
far
I agree.
With guys you can see. There's a couple pictures. I read that Johan Santana making it, but compared to Johnny Cueto of the Reds, but then Cueto went out last night and really got nailed by the Phillies.
Had a rough time of it.
Aaron Hill was the other one that I heard of with not starting for the at second base over Justin Pedroia that got the start. So, Mike, is it a matter of first half stats as opposed to maybe a recognition of what Pedroia did last year?
It's an interesting question because you have guys who are. I remember when I was in college and I was in Western Pennsylvania, and of course I was around all these idiotic Pirate fans.
IUP.
And I remember one year Rennie Stennett was having a great year. He was hitting like .330 or something like that. And Joe Morgan, of course, was the annual All-Star at second base in the National League. And this was, according to my buddies, a criminal situation that Joe Morgan was leading Rennie Stennett in the All-Star battle. And Joe Morgan was having a typical Joe Morgan year. And, Joe Morgan here's the reality. Joe Morgan is an all-star and Rennie Stennett isn't. And I'm not sure we should go too nuts over 200 hot at-bats for Rennie Stennett. You know what I'm saying? The same thing used to happen with Toby Harrah against George Brett every year. George Brett is an all-star. Toby Harrah, not quite. I mean, I don't think we should go too nuts with just strict math of first-half stats. But obviously, performance is a big part of it. Pedroia is 7th among second basemen in the American League in OPS, which is on base and slugging percentages together. So that's like middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I think that's enough of a performance sag. And it's not like Pedroia is Cal Ripken. No. To me, I would say no to Pedroia, but Red Sox fans who vote a lot are not going to say no.
But early and often.
Exactly.